This is kind of cool. So I jumped off the building, and now I can just kind of wander around wherever I want, which is pretty neat. Um, I don't think it's like this incentive for me to experience. It's just wandering through miles and miles of isolated nothing. It's you know, it's something playable that's here. So, I mean, it's a little bit more frustrating than it would be. Like, this is more area that could have had some kind of story or stuff attached to it. Not, but I don't want there to be more people around for me to like get their stories, because that would just make me exhausted at this point. So I'm kind of happy to be done with it. Yeah, there's like a Ferris wheel or something over there. Should I go look at it? It's kind of crazy how much stuff is here. It's like they really designed a lot of stuff, and it's just like completely scenery, non-interactive. There's definitely no more trophies for me to get. I just wonder if there is some kind of an ending to this game. Like, is there? I guess this is the ending. You jump off the building and you explore this giant area, which is not the worst idea in a game. Just, I don't know, if it's really worth it. It's more of a chore. You know, but feel the atmosphere before I judge this game and make my review. I feel like I should experience a little more of this. If I wanted to, I could put on like a video or something, or a radio show, and listen to it while I walk around here. Maybe I should watch Point's video. This talk and wander. Mars and better for that. This one with a little more in those games. I mean, I'm really impressed. I think I might give this game a decent. I mean, I feel like it's not a proper walking. I would say go watch, it is. Considering what it is, it's way better than you'd expect, you know? Objects, you can walk inside them, which is pretty weird. Alright, so I think we'll finish up soon. I'm getting the urge to quit. I thought I'll just try listening to a little bit of the ContraPoints video that I was watching on YouTube while playing this, instead of just quitting straight out. So we'll put on that video now.
Now, why do we need to have a proper debate about whether drag queens should be allowed on television when drag performance has been a staple of British entertainment since at least the time of Shakespeare?
Life is a joke, that's just begun. Three little maids from school. Fishy, 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 fish. As I am. My state is desperate for my master's love. As I am a woman. Now alas the day.
Bigots like Graham want a perpetual debate on their own terms because this is how they dignify their pearl clutching. It's how they convince the public that their moral panic about drag queens on TV is actually a valid concern.
Most of this stuff doesn't even physically exist. You can walk right through it.
Having the debate,
which is kind of neat.
Biggest terms is not a good way to win people over.
I'm not upset about it.
Really skilled in the art of humiliating people, which most of the time is what public debate is actually about. This is something that J.K. Rowling doesn't seem to understand. In the witch trials of J.K. Rowling, Jo takes a contradictory stance on deplatforming. She brings up right-wing provocateur Milo Yiannopoulos, saying that activists are making a strategic error and giving Milo power by protesting his events, making him look dangerous and sexy. But when trans people try to deplatform TERFs, Rowling characterizes this as silencing. So is deplatforming a strategic error that gives power to your opponent? Or is it a powerful tactic of silencing? I find Rowling's conviction that we ought to debate Milo Yiannopoulos out of touch. Yiannopoulos doesn't have for the things he does. Strategies for humiliating people.
I've taken some time out of my busy schedule, being fabulous and doing my hair, to prepare a speech for you. Well, a few remarks really. Feminism is cancer. Thank you very much.
To again quote Ian Danskin, you can't really reason with someone who thinks that feminism is cancer, because you don't reason with cancer, you eradicate it. Rowling objects to the slogan, no debate, in the strongest possible terms.
And then we come to the famous two-word slogan, the stock phrase, no debate, no debate, no debate. We hear it all the time. That alarms me, really alarms me. I can't think of a purer instance of authoritarianism than no debate.
It's kind of amazing to me that someone can think angry trans people on Twitter are the purest example of authoritarianism. I surely hope that
walk through the building.
I am privileged enough to be capable of such a perspective. Before I move on, I do want to clarify that I do think there are
walking through pretty much everything at this point
that are legitimately debatable by people who are not bigots. In my opinion, trans women in women's sports is one of those issues, but it's a complicated issue. Like, first of all, which sport are we talking about? Are we talking about figure skating? Middle school field hockey? I see no reason why trans girls should be excluded from that. But if we're talking about professional weightlifting, well, then it seems plausible that trans women who have been through male puberty may still retain some kind of group advantage. But not all trans women have experienced male puberty. People are transitioning younger now, and that's another thing you have to consider. So I'm not against debating this issue, I just want people to approach it with nuance and good faith. Currently, a lot of the people who are vocally against trans women in women's sports sound like this.
And we will keep men out of women's sports. How ridiculous. That will take place on day one.
And I don't want to debate those people. I want to serve them a banana cream pie. Chapter 6. Illiberal Methods.
True.
One of J.K. Rowling's core complaints about the trans rights movement is she sees it as illiberal in its methods.
So when I first became interested and then deeply troubled by what I saw as a cultural movement that was illiberal in its methods.
So what are these illiberal methods?
If you are saying this person is cancelled, that is the language of a dictator.
It's true. Cancel culture is exactly how the Third Reich started. First, they canceled the socialists, and I did not speak out because the hashtag was trending. But maybe we should see what an actual dictator thinks.
Пресловутая культура отмены превратилась в отмену культуры. Не так давно отменили детского писателя Джоан Роулинг за то, что она, автор книг, которые разошлись по миру сотнями миллионов экземпляров, не угодила поклонникам так называемых гендерных свобод.
You know, I can't help but wonder what counts as acceptable activist methods to an author for whom Hermione protesting slavery was taking things too far.
I am fighting what I see as a powerful, insidious, misogynistic movement. I do not see this particular movement as either benign or powerless.
Rowling seems to think that the trans rights movement
Alright,
is
I think we're ready to
dangerous
quit
and authoritarian
soon because
in some
I
unprecedented
just don't
way
think
that makes it different from all past
I
liberation.
don't think there's that much else for
But
me to
how?
do.
What are these illiberal methods that distinguish trans rights activism from similar past movements? Canceling? Anita Bryant was way more cancelled than J.K. Rowling ever will be. Boycotts? Boycotts have been a staple of every progressive movement in modern history. Disrupting feminist meetings? Disrupting feminist meetings is a feminist tradition. Haven't you heard of the Lavender
This is kind of
Menace?
cool.
In 1969, Betty Friedan, author of The Feminine Mystique and founder of the National Organization for Women and second-wave feminism in general, coined the phrase
I wish I could look
Lavender
straight up.
Menace to describe the threat she believed that lesbians posed to the women's movement. Friedan was worried that being associated with lesbians would make it easy to dismiss the movement as a bunch of mannish man-haters. This understandably pissed off a bunch of lesbians who attended the Second Congress to Unite Women in 19...
Alright, I think we're done here. So that's it. Say goodbye to this game now. Bleak Dystopia. It was better than I expected. It's like the generic walking simulator name that would make me think it would be terrible. Yeah, I guess it was a bit terrible. You know, it was a bit of a cash grabby, you know, walk around, collect the things game with like a little audio story overlaid that's like hard to listen to and distracts from the readings you're supposed to do. But in a way, it only adds to the extra stuff you can do in the game, the extra ways you can play it. Because you could play it by listening to the story, and you could also play it by reading all the things. And so I wound up having 4 different playthroughs. One where I just walked around and listened to the story. One where I went a particular direction and picked up a few readings. Then another one where I went a different direction and picked up those readings, and then a third one where I picked up the readings in the third area. And so and then there was the fourth, which was the original one. Sorry. So there was 3 with readings, and one where I didn't do any readings, one where I just walked around and listened to the story. And so that was you know, it's not nothing. And then you have like this secret area, sort of an Easter egg, where you can just walk around seemingly forever in this giant, vast, bleak dystopia just for as long as you want and discover new things like the train tracks and the church and whatever. It's like seems like it's never ending. And there's a train there, is there? It's like a train. So there's just like so much stuff all over the place. Yeah, I feel like I could just walk around slowly and just discover more and more strange stuff. And it's just kind of neat. So it was better than I expected. Yeah, actually, maybe I should just do my review from this spot, actually. Yeah. So I'll just start my review. I Bleak Dystopia. You were than I expected you to be. Not exactly a great game, but I'd say that it was alright. Kind of quite acceptable. I will see y'all next time.